and I made more in like 4 months that I made for a year and doing that at VAC.
Mike Morrison, he's my guy. He gives me a lot of great advice and helps you kind of navigate through the process when it comes to the sale and the purchase on properties just like this.
We don't focus on doing a lot of deals. We focus on improving your margin.
Definitely.
Right? Because you don't have to do as many deals if you're making 15 or more per deal. And I don't know how many math rules are out there, but if you're doing 4 deals, making at least 15,000 a month, that's 60 grand. Welcome. What is going on, everybody? So let's get this thing started. Let's see if we can get everybody in. What's going on, Michelle? I was like, where my man?
Let's make it happen, baby. Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. We've been working on deals without you, brother.
I mean, I've been crushing by myself, baby. That's what I do.
Michelle said he don't need no help. He don't need no recognition.
Been busy like crazy. Bro. For real.
We're gonna chop it up. I'm looking forward to it. I want to hear the stories. Brother. Sure. All right, 7. Let's rock. Let's get it going. So, first of all, welcome everybody. It's first of all, or second of all, I want to say appreciate you joining us on a Thursday night that you could be doing absolutely anything in the world, but you're here, right? So that means you want some knowledge, you want some cultivation of what you're already working on, and I guess growing your skill sets. And people that are current students or people that are future students or people that are asking themselves, is this what you want to do? Welcome, because this is the place you want to be. And you're learning from people that's willing to share. That's a big deal in this space and what we're trying to do. I want to welcome some of the vets in the room, Amber, Michelle, Charles. You know, you got some people that's done this thing. You know, they've been around the block a few times, right? So I want to welcome you guys for showing up, you know, because you could be doing other deals or doing whatever, right? Because you started this thing to have a freedom of time. And the fact that you're here to share with other people is a big deal. So welcome and thank you. We're always going to start this thing off and kick this thing off like we always do with some positivity. Who's working deals right now? That's the big, like, who's working deals? Who working on things? Who's making some things happen? Michelle, Aaron, Amber, Charles.
I feel like some people are being modest.
All right.
Like, y'all know y'all got some deals going.
I'm working on 6 deals right now, like crazy.
Wow.
6.
They're all in Boston?
One shot.
Are they all they're all in Boston?
Of course. You already know. That's the best market, baby. Boston. I don't want to go anywhere else.
Love that.
My million is right in my corner. You feel me?
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So, anything specific or unique about the deals you're working on right now, Michelle?
So I'm buying like a nice single family 6,000 square foot for myself.
Okay.
Big boy, 2 acres lot. Yep. I have it in the contract for 380. The ARV is 900. ARV 900. I said I'm gonna keep that for myself.
That's you. That's yours.
That's yours. I've been praying God. That's what I want for me.
I love that.
I've been praying God. That's what I want for me. This is it. 2 acres lot, 6,000 square footage, 7 bed, 4 bathroom. This is it.
Wow.
And I'm the only black in that neighborhood. My man.
Wow.
This is it, baby. This is it. Yep.
I love that. So just to, and not as if I know Michelot's deal, but I always tell people, and myself and Charles talk about this a lot, right? we talk about the notion of if you don't own a house at the time or you don't own your dream home at the time, it's okay. It's okay to rent and navigate the perfect deal. Everybody knows I always say that. You know, my family ready. My kids keep their bags packed because you just never know. You never know when we're going to move to the next house, to the next subject to the next transaction. Michelo found his perfect house.
Yo, I had it on the contract for 380, right? The next day, there is two guys that knew me. Yo, they give me 600. I said, yo, stay away from me, my man. I'm not gonna sell nothing. Yo, you know me. Back in the day, I wouldn't get that cash. I said, no, I'm good. I'm gonna keep that for me. I'm good. People just like bring me. No, I'm good. I love it. I love it.
So keep in mind, just to throw the numbers out there, Michelo has a house under contract for $380,000.
Yep.
The current value is close to 1 million.
Yep. I just got it appraised today for 650 as is right now.
Wow.
Not even touch it yet. See what I'm saying?
So he could do a cash out refi right now for 80% of whatever the appraised value. So
I know. I'm taking it because I just got a loan. Like I'm gonna do the 80%. I don't care. I'm gonna put 80% down with like 7% interest. I don't care. I'll make that happen.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it right now. You know what I mean? So maybe down in the line I might refinance, but you know the payment not gonna bother me at all because I make things happen. You know what I mean?
Man, what a deal. So look, this is when I ask for positivity, this is what I'm looking for. This is fire. Super excited for you, bro. Michelo gonna show up with some deals on deck. You know he gonna show up with some deals on deck. I'm super
and
excited.
I have 3 more double closing that I'm closing end of this month as well.
So let me ask you this. It's gonna be a little personal.
My man, talk to me.
This whole year, right? And we know what your goals were, right? You started out as an HVAC technician?
Yes, sir. I've been working hard, didn't make shit.
So Michelo started HVAC technician, right? Tell the people how much you made this year just off real estate.
Oh my God, yo, this is crazy. I don't want to brag about it, yo. I don't want to brag because I don't believe in that, but because we are family, we are brothers and sisters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm close to, oh my God, I'm close to 650 right now. Yeah. Oh my God, can't believe I say that. Yeah.
So you made $650,000.
I'm in that range right now. The year not even end yet. I'm in that range right now. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Hey,
I'm in gross. You know, I have bill to pay. I have to pay the platform I'm using, blah, blah, blah. But I've got, a good chunk for myself. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
Well, somebody that started out with you, when I first met you, you said you were doing HVAC. Like, I promise you, the real talk, right? Like, I'm not making this stuff up, right? I'm talking to Michelo. He's on the job the day I meet him. Hey, I got, what he tells me in true Michelo fashion, money ain't a thing. I'm signing up tomorrow. Money ain't a thing. I'm signing up tomorrow.
That's it. Yeah.
Before you gotta show me what you know. That's what you told me. I want to know what you know.
I said, yo, teach me everything you know. And I meant it, bro. For it. I wanted that so bad. Yo, when I call you, I was in the fucking bathroom because when you have a job, you have to hire, to talk. You know, but thank God and thank you. Trust me, I'm making it happen. And that's just the beginning, bro. That's just the beginning.
Wow. So I would say this. He's made $650,000 this year, 2 months left. The biggest deal he's done is the house that he's about to move into, though.
Yeah, that's my dream. I'm happy. My son is happy. I love it.
Yeah, you making $500,000 to $600,000 just off that house that you're going to move into as a house hack, which is pretty freaking amazing. So, man, I can't. So this year, let's claim it. Michelo's made $1 million.
I'm like, I have like that waiting to close this month. If I close those, if nothing happened, I'd be close to that.
No. If we count the equity that you're gonna make on that house,
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
you made over $1 million. I count equity. Equity is money, man.
Yep.
Because you could do a cash out refi and take that money.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah, you made over $1 million. So
Yep.
you made $1 million this year, bro. And I'm proud of you.
And I call it my retirement home. Just like you taught me, my retirement home. You feel me?
Yeah. That's a big deal for us. Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. Congratulations, bro. It's good to hear from you. Good to see you, brother. Anybody else working on a deal right now? Let's hear. I know Charles is out here. I know Amber. I know several students on here are working through some things, and let's hear it. I know Wesley. I know Wes was putting together a deal earlier in the week. So
yeah, I actually sent out like I think 3 offers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one of them that I sent out, man, I got to him just a tad bit late. He had already sold the property that morning, and I got to him that morning.
Oh wow.
And,
okay.
Yeah, so I'm still waiting to hear back from the other 2 people.
So Wesley making offers, right? So that's something we talked about last week, right? Like I said it very aggressively, and I meant to be aggressive when I said it. Okay, like I literally meant to be aggressive when I said it. If you're not making offers, you can't close anyway. And at that time, I hadn't made any offers, and I'll show you guys what I got going on this week. But if you were not making offers last week, you're not closing. So Wes is in here. Wes is making offers right now, and I love it.
Yes, sir.
You got 2 on the table right now, right? That you sent out?
Yeah.
Awesome. And Wes been checking in with myself, Charles, just trying to get some scope, what documents you need to use and all those things. And that's the beautiful thing about what we do here. You're not out here by yourself. You got somebody that's willing to rock with you. Somebody's willing to share. Somebody's willing to take that journey with you. There's no reason why you shouldn't be making offers. Charles, what you got? What you got cracking?
Sure. Nothing real quick, just nothing really. Just getting the VAs put together. That's pretty much been my workload all week, last couple of weeks actually.
So if you don't know, Charles has decided to start Smart Money VAs, which you've had over the last couple of weeks, right? And I told you guys last week, I ended up launching with a VA, and it's kind of changed the scope of my business, which in a good way, right? And having somebody kind of go through, for me, when you talk about scalability, if you can create something one time, and they have somebody be able to recreate it, the big thing for me is being able to talk about what I want to do in my business and what my offer should look like, blah, 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 and have somebody be able to send it out to multiple people. That saves me so much time. That's one of those scalable points of interest, and that's what I end up doing. And Charles got the VAs, to say the least, and he's vetting them before they come to you. But more importantly, they already have a real estate background, and he's doing some upfront training. So appreciate you, Charles, for that.
Yeah, no problem. I appreciate you being a guinea pig.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you. He posted a calendar link if you want to get on my calendar. I do have the VAs on deck. And so let's talk about it, see how they can, get some of your time back and, try to help scale your business. I've been working with my VA for over 2 years, and we've definitely grown together. And that's what I'm kind of trying to put in the VA's heads. Like, hey, I got clients that are, kind of in the beginning, budding stages of their businesses. So you have a great opportunity to grow with the clients that I pair them with. So, and I think it's been working out with Mike's. His VA's kind of been reaching the goals that he set, and she's gotten a couple bonuses. Mercedes as well. We closed 2 more clients this week outside of Real Newbies. So yeah, the VAs are kind of flying off the shelves right now, but we have plenty. Jane is working. Y'all familiar with Jane. She works hard. She's a real go-getter. So we make things happen. In the words of Michelo, we make things happen,
I heard that. I'm gonna charge him for that.
Hey, it was so natural. It was so natural. You affected me. I'm like, damn, did I just steal Michelo's line? It was so natural. My bad.
My man,
Hey, I had to give the credit.
Let's share the word.
Hey, I had to give the credit. I'm not a plagiarizer. I was like, I think I just heard that from somewhere. Oh, Michelo, there you go. In the words of Michelo.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm training with Mike, going with Mike. If anything that happens that he wants his VAs to know, that he doesn't have to say direct, I can tell Jane and she can tell them on the back channels. And then the same as well. The VAs may have some issues. They talk to Jane and I can tell, she can tell me, and then I can tell the client on the front end without them having the, upfront confrontation. We can smooth everything out, So that's kind of where we're at with it.
Awesome. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks,
yeah,
Brian.
Yeah. Charles definitely locked in, and I can't say enough about being able to bring that sourcing piece to my business, having somebody to source out to do the calls, and it definitely lightens the load just on the team. Anybody else working on some things? I'm trying to go through the calls, trying to go through the who on, and more importantly, I think Amber's on. Amber, her and I. What's up, Amber? What's going on?
Nothing much.
Amber is made her talk through a couple of deals that she's working on, and then she has some specific locations she's looking at. If you want to share a little bit, Amber, about what you're looking at with those locations.
Yeah, so not only do I like to look in certain areas, but I already have buyers in mind. So I like to know what a lot of my investors or what a lot of my clientele out here look for. And a lot of them right now want multifamily, and they want duplexes, triplexes, quads, things like that. And in any condition. And for us, where I'm located, there's a couple of counties that are just, you can't even get them now. And if you do, they're outrageously priced. So when you start kind of going to that next town over, or that 2 towns over, you're able to find them at a good rate. And so I've hit a couple of Fayetteville, which we have military out there, and it's within a 45-minute range to Raleigh. And then we're hitting Wilson, which is about a 30-minute drive to Raleigh, and that's where most people work. And so it's a great area to look at, but it has tons of multifamily. And so we've been able to find some multifamily that have been willing to sell at a good rate. And then already having the buyer on the back end, it's a quick move. And that's what we're looking at. And I was going to say the ones that I've done in Wilson, because it is such an older area, a lot of them are in the historical district. So I've had to learn a lot about the historical district and what your limitations are when you are restoring. I'm going to use that word, restoring, and not flipping a multifamily home in a historical district, and how you have to know and who to talk to and how you need to add that money to your cost of flipping. So that has been big, but multifamily is where my focus is right now.
Amber, is your end buyers only focused in that area, or are they multifamily kind of just all over?
They're right now, they're in this area. They're not in other states yet.
Okay.
I think when they start to become a little bit bigger, then Charles, like, you're my person I thought of. But right now, I think they're, they have like 5, 6 under their belt. And once they feel like they got that good, I think they're going to start looking at those strong areas, especially your area where you're at. And I can have them contact you right away.
Okay. Oh yeah. I was just thinking. I was prospecting in Milwaukee, and Milwaukee, I think, is the largest quad duplexes or quadplexes or something, the most in the United States. So I was just.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they said Chicago and Milwaukee are the 2 capitals for quads and duplexes.
Well, it's funny you said that, because their other place they started wanting to do, it was Chicago because of that. And so I think they think this is kind of like their baby steps. And then when they feel comfortable, then they start branching out there.
Okay.
But I found a hotel. A motel, because it's one level
Right.
in Wilson that is considered multifamily. And we're looking at putting an offer on that.
I was where I went to a conference. I met a guy who turns like the motels into boutique hotels.
Ooh, I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, so that he changed his whole business model to boutique hotels.
I like that.
So that's all he does at this point in time. He's out of Houston.
Okay. I find that very interesting. So right now, that's what we're looking at in Wilson, is that one hotel. But a lot of them for us, not in Fayetteville, but in Wilson, a lot of them are in that historical district. So the research, and like I said, we always have to call everybody in the county that you can in city limits and question everything. We have found out how expensive and how you need a permit for almost everything you do in that historical district. Wow. So that's put more of a cost than, at first we thought of, but the rate of return is still very high out there. So they're still profiting off of that. And like 1 bedrooms, there's tons, like it's hard to find a 1 bedroom, 1 bath property. There are tons of parcels out there that have 2 or 3 units, separate units that are 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and they're easily picking up $500-$600, and you can get all 3 of these for under $16,000.
Wow!
So the rate of return for all these, it's really good out there, and so we're just looking in those areas. But we're starting to see that a lot of these people who own the multifamilies, they're older and they're just done. They're out of it. They're done renting. They're just older. They don't want to deal with it. And that's who we're seeing that we can get these from.
So I love that Amber just said this, older people that are done, right? So if you have PropStream, what does that sound like? What should you be prospecting? They're older and they're done.
Tired landlords.
There you go. Right. So
that was his like little slapstick joke. Like y'all missed it.
Like if you're older and you're done, tired landlord.
That's a tired landlord.
That's literally how they feel, right? And you're gonna call them and you're gonna be surprised, right? Because this income generating, blah, blah, blah. I promise you, one of our best lists that's been performing has been our tired landlord list.
Amber, hold on, let me cut you off before I lose my thought real quick, Mike. Amber, when you was talking about the 1 bedroom, there's not a lot of 1 bedrooms, 1 bath. Keep in mind about the ADUs that I talk about, because that's how I got my 1 bedroom, 1 bath on my same property. I just built it in the back.
Yes, and I think these towns, Charles, are, in a nice way to put it, are very old school and stuck on their ways, and it's taken some time to get there, but I think it is coming out that way. They're kind of ran by old money, if you know what I mean. This town is. And
good old boy system.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be wording it right. So it's challenging to bring in some new look, some new life and ideas, but it's getting there. It is. The more we push, it's coming. But you're absolutely right. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I guess the way to present that is because I know the historic, they got some, because they do that in New Orleans a lot too. With the historic, you got to be kind of particular about what you put, or what kind of you're putting up there. But the how they've been presenting the ADUs is it helps with affordable housing.
Charles, that's good that you mentioned that, because one of them, we had just closed a couple weeks on it, and they were actually able to get a grant from that county because that was their intent for it.
Exactly.
And they actually supported that. So that's great. What you just said. Yeah.
Yep.
Did the builder get the grant or the purchaser get the grant, Amber?
So this is something, again, I wish we would have known ahead of time. Okay. Yeah. But they had already closed on it. And when we went up there, and I stayed with all my people because I want to learn and
Yeah.
become better myself. So I follow from the time we go to purchase it to the time they're done. I like to know it all. So when we went up there to get the permits to go ahead and start renovating, that's when we learned about it. We should have already applied ahead of time while we were still under contract for it. And that was our bad on that one, but we learned. But they ended up getting, they found out there was still money left. And most of them I've learned is you start applying at the end of the year, and then they grant them like January and February for that following year. So there was still money left for this year, and they were able to get that money, but they will be doing some more for the following year.
Do you know if it's in an opportunity zone or not?
No, it was not.
Okay.
But Charles, they had some of the money they got due to the historical part of the side. I know that, but a lot of the money they got for that grant was because they were keeping affordable housing and, or excuse me, it's a rent to own. So they're not reselling this one. They're actually, they're going to buy and hold it and rent it out. And they're allowing Section 8. They're allowing vouchers in there. And they were able to also team up. There is another program, and it's slipping my mind right now, but there's another program out there. I need to look it up. It's called Home Something, but it's not Section 8, but it's very similar to where they help pay for their rent and even some of their utility bills.
Not like home assistance, or
it's not home assistance, but it's,
I need to look for veterans, Amber, veteran specific, or just anybody?
No, it's not veteran. It's for anyone that can, it is based on your income.
Okay.
But it's separate from the actual housing with the Section 8 and stuff. It's not in that same program. It's a whole different program.
But it is government funded.
And Charles, I don't want to answer. I don't know if it's a non-profit.
That's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah, I don't know.
By a church or something, or
I know it's a big program here that we have. And
is it LITC?
Say that again.
Is it an LITC program? It's like a tax credit program for like apartments, communities.
No, it was called something home, something program. And I, being a landlord myself, I was approached by two people, and that's how I looked it up, because I had never heard of that before. And basically when they are to sign my lease with me, I'm actually not signing it with that tenant. I am signing it with that tenant and this program.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're responsible, and they will tell you how much that they pay. And with this person that I was dealing with, they were paying for the full amount, and they told you how it was going to be paid, and they did direct deposit. And I mean, they had everything lined up. Unfortunately, my property was already leased, but I wanted to learn about it, so I kept asking and stuff like that. But it was with that program that they were able to get a lot of this stuff too. I need to find out what that is. I can go back and look.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about that.
Yes. But the problem is that a lot of tenants don't know about it. And so that was one of the things, is they were trying to kind of get the word out about their program, because they're fairly new. So Mike, I can look that up and send it, and I'll actually do that as soon as I'm done talking, and I can put it in the chat.
For sure. I appreciate you. And just to be real, Amber and I are working on a couple of deals, at least, in the starting stages of a couple. I know you guys know, and anybody else that have any positive things going on right now, or any deals working, let's hear them. But I'll talk a little bit about what I have going on as well. You guys know I closed that one deal last week. And it was one of those things, it had been on the table for a bit, but we got it done. So then I think you guys know, last Thursday, I said, who has ran a list? And I said, I hadn't ran one. Hadn't made any calls because I was focused on the closing. I was actually out of town for 2 days trying to knock that closing out, it was 3 hours from my house. But Friday or Saturday, and Charles, Brian, you guys correct me if I'm wrong because you guys know when I run my list.
Mike, notice he said 3 hours from his house. He drove 3 hours to go make a deal happen. You know what I mean? He didn't just try to just do it. He drove multiple hours. Okay.
Yeah. 3 hours from the house, right? And it's one of those things that everything I did was mostly virtual. I can't deny that, but to get my money, I'll drive 3 hours to get the money I had on the line for that. And just know that, sometimes it takes that. You look at somebody like Charles that do deals out of town, out of state. You look at somebody like Sonya that do deals out of town, deals out of state. People like Amber that do deals out of town, like that's very willing to do those things if the money makes sense. So that's where I spent the majority of my time last week. But then I shifted after our Thursday night call because I was one of the ones that raised my hand and said, hey, I haven't done anything this week. I closed, and Charles called me. I said, but you closed the deal. Yeah, I did close the deal, but I didn't do all the things that got me to closing, right? So I had to do that. You can't get lazy, right? So what I did was I ran one list. I think it had about 1,200 people on it, and I ran it. And at this point, I could count them out now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to make 16 offers between today and the weekend. 16 offers. And I have one deal that I know I spoke with Amber about that she most likely is going to buy from me, which I'm excited about. I make things a little bit easier. But just know it's just a grind. But again, we're not grinding anymore. We're using a CRM that does a lot of the heavy lifting for us that we don't have to grind anymore. The dope thing for me is I leverage the use of my CRM, but more importantly, I leverage the use of my virtual assistant. It gives me some of that time back to be able to think and put the offers together. And that's kind of been what I've been on over the last week. So just know I went from being the guy that raised my hands, I hadn't made any offers, to the guy that says, okay, I'm making 16 offers. And that's where I want you. If you're not making offers, you have no opportunity to make money in this space. You can't close without an offer. You can't make offers without sending out text messages or prospecting. You can't prospect if you don't run a list. You can't run a list if you don't know what list you want to run. Tie landlords, vacants, pre-foreclosure. At that point, you need to know what your value proposition is. The cool thing is we do all that stuff for you, and we give you all that information. So you want to win or not? At the end of the day, you either want to win or you don't. I have to win every week. So when I called myself out last week and raised my hand, said, hey, I haven't done anything this week. That's when I said, well, shoot, let's do it. And that's how I went from having 0 contacts replied. And I'll share so you guys can see it really quickly. And then we'll open up for Q&A. A big part of the night of what we're doing is Q&A. But look at this. So this is the thing I'll show you, right? This is my contact reply, due diligence, offer sent, offers of the under contract, right? My saying under contract are the same, right? This is Wayman and Oxidine. So this is really weird about the town. I wish I could block this out so y'all won't try to sneak me and try to go after the town I'm on right now. Anyways, but if you look at the town that I'm prospecting, this last name is very prominent there, Oxidine and Locklear. Those are the 2 prominent names there. Like it's kind of weird. So this deal we have under contract. We have a little bit of title concern that we're working through. Aisha is one that myself and Amber are actually kind of navigating. Amber's trying to talk me down. Amber and I will talk about this later. But Amber wants me to negotiate her down from 33,000 down to 27.5, right? and Amber's willing to pay me $5,000 for the contract, and she'll find her back in leasee, and the leasee probably will pay Amber somewhere close to about $500 to $750 and do the repairs, and she's going to do a lease option, and she's going to get a big option fee up front. That makes sense. So just know the flexibility is real. So that's this one. This one I feel really good about. It's in the hood. I know we're recording, so I won't go deeper into what the hood means. But it's definitely in a neighborhood that is questionable in this area. And this is a cool thing, right? Once you start knowing an area, understanding where people want to be. What I realized that people want to, this little town right here, everybody wants to be on the east side of this town. This area right here is on the west side of this town. It's right. It's at the opening of a housing project. Now, when I got this house, I said, "Oh man, this house looks good, man. It's the first house I got. They got a garage." Didn't realize it was at the opening of a housing project, and that my typical buyers that I have in this little small town won't touch it. Right. So I spoke with the lady today. She's definitely interested in owner financing. We're still hashing out pricing. However, if I can get her down to 27.5, Amber's my buyer. Amber says she'll take it. So just know that, right? So these calls that we have are not just about us showing what we're working on. I'm not the only one that have to be able to sell a deal to someone else. It's the fact that we all can work with one another. Notice that Amber said, well, what area are you in? Notice what Charles said. Would your buyer be interested in buying outside of your state? Right? Because that's why we built this collective, that we can trust one another and we can do business together. So, and then this last one, I hadn't talked to Melanie. She hadn't been on the last two calls, but I will reach out to Melanie to find out about Angeline Harrison. But this is one of our older deals. This came from that urgent letter, this quote unquote scary letter that we send out. We closed one person off of that. But if you go back to our dashboard, let's just look at how much money we made recently, right? And let's see if we got any. How did I find out how much money I made recently? Okay, here we go. 32,500. That's how much money I made recently, right? Not too big to write home about, but it's a good little amount of money, right? And this thing keeps up. But this is the cool thing. And again, the thing that makes you sick is what you lost, right? But these are the people that tell you to F off, right? So you can't get too sick about that. Now that yellow number right here, this open number, the people that's engaging with you and your contact reply, this is the numbers you should be chasing. I got $105,000 and I'm chasing right now. I made 32,500 since I start showing my, showing my work, so to speak. But I'm chasing $105,000, right? The dope thing is I made 32,500 off of closing 2 deals. You guys literally have an insight and you have a bird's eye view of what I'm closing. Like the dope thing is I tell you what I'm closing. Michelo tells you what he's closing. Amber tells you what she's working on. Charles tells you what he's working on and closing. This is unprecedented. Sonya's she'll go out of town to work on a multifamily, but it'll tell you the scope of what she's working on. This is unheard of. If you're not prospecting, if you have not sent any text messages out this week, hang up the phone right now. Get off the phone. I'm joking. Don't hang up. What I'm telling you is you can't win if you're not in the game. You just can't. You can't win if you're not in the game. So 2 deals got me 32,500. 2 deals got me. Somebody do the math. Somebody do the math. What's that? I'm not good at math. Was it 16,000? $16,250 maybe? Something like that?
Yeah, that's it.
Per deal. I did that without a calculator. I'm kind of proud of myself. Anyways, you imagine that when everybody else say you should make $5,000 a deal. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Guess how much I'm saying I'm gonna make per deal? 5,000. Because I'm gonna break myself down to what all these other weirdo lame people think. You only should make $5,000 per deal. Okay, cool. We want more than that. And if I'm gonna make 5,000, I want my 5,000 up front and non-refundable. Period. Period. I'm not waiting on 5,000. I want it up. Amber, if we do this deal together, I want 5,000 up front, non-refundable, right? You shouldn't take less than $5,000. Period. Okay, that's non-negotiable. You should not be taking less than $5,000. So when you see my deal board, notice what we working on, y'all. Can you let her in, Brian? All right, so notice what we're working on. These are all deals that did not exist last week. I promise you. Notice the date, 10/07/22. These things did not exist last week. All of these deals are new. Okay? All of them, except for this one down here. And I don't even know why he's still down here. Let's take a peek at him. What's going on with this guy? I would take 100K. Yeah, let's get him out of there. Again, we're going to move on for deals fast, right? Because it's a numbers thing. So I'm going to move him immediately over to Lost. I'm cool. I'm cool with dealing with George Flantos because he don't have that. He don't see our vision. He gone. Now, everything that's in my deal list right now all came in September the 7th. And we are, what's today's date? Somebody help me. Are we 7 days out? We're a weekend. We 6 days in. Tomorrow we'll be gone. I'm going to try to start moving these deals over to due diligence. That is where I want to get these deals from contact reply to me doing my due diligence to offer sent. We got a few that we talked to already. This lady, she seemed really intrigued. She's on our pre-foreclosure list. Because no, we did a true circle prospect. Okay. You guys have been disillusioned by being in the circle because we give you so much heat, right? But just know you always can send your letters, and I'm not going to walk over to grab the letters, but you guys know what the scary letter looked like. So these people right here, they came from a scary letter, believe it or not. Pre-foreclosure. Like we got people that came from a scary letter. So we ran a combo list of pre-foreclosures and vacant properties. I didn't even run title landlords on this one yet. That's my last run. My title landlords, that's my last little run. Because I run my title landlords. That's the last rip. And then I'm out the city after that. Right. So once I run my title landlords, I'm out of Cumberland County. And then boom, we move on to some other location. So just know we're gonna have more offers rocking out. And keep in mind, we got 3 on the contract right now. I promise you, by next week, I guarantee it, we'll have 5 on the contract by next week. I promise you I'll get 2 more. Because that's just how we move. We make it happen. In the words of Michelle. Any questions, opinions? What are you working on? That's the question. What are you working on? Tell me. Tell me.
Hi, guys.
Sonya, what's going on?
I'm good. I'm alive. We made it through that was crazy ordeal in Puerto Rico.
For sure, for sure.
And then got back and got sick. I guess I got caught whatever I caught over there. Might up getting sick, but it was a good trip regardless. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying 2 multi-families back to back closing.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got I stood out there longer because they had to create my my vendor teams, the guys that are going to do the painting, the punching, the appliances and all that. And then we wind up hitting Hurricane Ian.
Yeah. And then you came like 2 days after it hit Jackson, like your area.
Yes, I was stuck there because I was supposed to be there. Was supposed to head back the Saturday before it happened. Wow. And we got stuck there. They didn't allow us to go.
Wow. And
it was bad, but luckily my properties did not weather anything, just the rain.
Wow.
The rain hit. So it was good to be there because I had to see what a hurricane, weather it through the hurricane to see how it goes.
Yeah.
Because remember, once I leave there, I come back home. And I'm relying. Exactly. And I'm relying on my property management team to
Mm.
manage it to make sure that we're not going to have any hiccups. So I was there throughout the whole thing, and thank God, no hiccups. No hiccups.
And just to
whatsoever.
throw this out here, not to cut you off, Sonya.
Mhm.
We talking out of county deals, out of city deals, out of state deals.
Yeah,
She talking
I do out of
country
state deals.
deals. She talking out of country deals. Let's go.
Yes, I stay out of country because that's where the vacations is.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But this ordeal, I'm doing it right next to a hospital, so I'm doing traveling nursing deals, contracts.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's why I took the multi properties, because I wanted to do the traveling nursing over there.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
closings set. Now I'm just dealing with okay, let's start the flip. Let's start the whole rehab issues back and forth. We're doing fine so far. I just got sick in the motion, or else I would have been in last week's call. It was just too much going on. And I'm still recovering over it, but I'm back in the business. You know what I mean?
That's good to hear. Yeah, you called, like, Sonya hit me up when she got back, and I was like, oh shoot. Like, the first thing I thought about, because we on the call doing the whole hurricane thing. This is not last week, but a week before, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? Week before.
Yes.
And it's like, holy crap. I'm like, Sonya over in near St. Augustine. I didn't know she was in Puerto Rico. And then she hit me, was like, yo, I just got back. Thank God I made it back alive or something. And I'm like, oh, she was in Puerto Rico. They hit Puerto Rico first, and then it's like, dang.
Then it hit St. Augustine right after.
Everybody was thinking even crazier. Like,
I'm like, damn, did I follow me and shit? Like, come on.
It's like,
I was mad heated.
Yeah.
And it flooded 4 feet we were under 4 feet of water.
Wow.
4 feet of water in St. Augustine. So it hit St. Augustine worse than it hit Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico hit it bad, but we hit the west coast of Puerto Rico. I'm on the east. On the east side. So and my house is on the beach. So I was really scared as shit. Going through that whole motion by itself. I'm like, God damn, man, I'm here to stay it out, but I'll never. I thought beach life was good, but I will never go through that shit again. Never. I was like, yo, I'm out. I'm ready to go home. That's it. It was scary. It was scary because I had 3 levels, so it was scary. There was nothing. You flooding or the hurricane hitting on the top. There was no way to get out of it. So I had to live out that whole ordeal. That's why I was like, Mike, I made it. That was crazy.
And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, oh, I said on the call, believe it or not, I was like, oh, Sonya, the hurricane hit. And I said, Sonya's she's in St. Augustine, so it's probably rough over there. Because, Brian's down in Central Florida, Charles is in Western Florida, we got Gwen, and we got everybody in these different areas of Florida. And it's like, holy crap. And when I remember hitting Brian, I was like, yo, it's crazy in St. Augustine. I just saw the video of how bad it looks. And I said, that's where Sonya at. And then, like, promise you, like, the next day, Sonya hit me. It was like, I just got from Puerto Rico. I'm like, I was worried about her in St. Augustine. She done went through the hurricane twice.
And came right in it. I was like, what the hell?
It was crazy. She hit me on like a Friday or Saturday. I'm like, wow, so it's good to hear from you. And I always encourage people, this thing about thinking outside the box is big, right? And Sonya talks about that. Sonya works deals in Puerto Rico because she understands the tourist nature of
the need.
Yeah, like there's a need there. But you also look at somebody like Charles that says, I'll take a little area in Dothan, Alabama, or Panama City and build an ADU behind it and do an Airbnb. Understanding this creativity that it takes to make things happen is important. One thing that Amber hit me about. Now, I just moved into this new area. I'm not going to mention the area that Amber and I are working through. I don't know when I get in my backyard. Twilight on the call. Twilight getting in your backyard.
I was like,
Yes,
why is
I
it
am on
quiet?
a
It's
call.
silent.
Yes,
Oh,
I
Oh,
oh, never mind, never
you,
mind.
Yes,
but
I
Trillion, you
am.
left the
Matter
door
of
three
fact,
times. You left it on. He gave you the open door 3 times. I was like, is Twilin on? Where's Twilin? Like, she would have really rocked him up right now. Like,
Look,
seriously.
look, I'm still tired from my trip. I had to go to a wedding in Virginia.
Well,
But I saw a
well,
lot of I
it is
prospect
good.
just like Mike.
So this is the thing, right? So you heard Twana say she went to Virginia on a wedding and still prospected in the area. I think that's important, right?
Yes.
So this is the thing. When you work in the area, ask yourself what's going on. I'm gonna give you guys, if it's somebody got a pen and paper, write this down. Bristol, Virginia. Bristol, North Carolina. I'm gonna give this one away. It's a freebie. Bristol, Virginia. Bristol, Bristol, North Carolina. So one would say, well, how is it the same name, same different state? The actual city is cut in half by the state line.
Wow.
They just built the casino there. They are absolutely, when I say zero hotels there are 0 hotels there, and they're building a Hard Rock casino. So, with that being said, that is an area to look at to prospect. Bristol, Virginia, Bristol, North Carolina. Big area, big area, big area. So, yeah. And I'll say this last thing before I open it up for Q&A. Amber, the location that Amber's told me about, I was already prospecting. It's kind of ironic. She hit me up, asked me about this area. I said, oh, I just ran a list there. And she said, well, you know, they're about to open that baseball stadium there. I'm like, baseball stadium? She's like, and this area is where everybody's, you know, where it's really cracking at. I'm like, oh, okay. And then now I'm sitting there with deals from that location. You have to know what the driving force is to an area. And for me, even with this little small town outside of Fayetteville, that little area that I closed the deal, I know it's not a driving force there. It's the fact that you can get houses for less than $50,000.
Wow.
That's the only driving force. There's not a catalyst there for economic growth or anything that most of us think about. What it is there is a huge Hispanic population there, and they have cash, and they're saying, hey, I'll buy this house and don't worry about the repairs because I can do my own repairs.
Where is that?
I can't talk about that right now, Wes. I can't plug you in.
Mike, how you doing, Mike? Mike, how you doing?
I can't
You
even
need a
tell-
translator? You need
I
a
can't even-
translator, Mike?
Look,
need a
I can't-
translator?
everybody want to know where it's at.
What-
You know,
you need a translator? I'll do it.
I can't even really put y'all on
I can
game.
talk to them. I can wheel and deal for you.
But
for
I,
us.
you know, look, and again, y'all know I share everything with y'all. It's a little area called Lumberton, North Carolina. Lumberton. Lumberton.
That is like 5 minutes. I used to pass that all the time. That's like a 5-minute city.
Yes, it is very small. It's
Yes.
off 95. So you drove down 95.
Yes.
95.
Yes.
And you literally
Yes.
blink your
And
eyes.
always construction. That's like
Yes.
the smallest part. It drives me
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you driven 95, you know, coming from Sonya, driving 95 north, you'll pass Lumberton without even blinking an eye. It's just it's an interesting area, that area where we're prospecting. You know, again, picking up houses for $10,000 and selling them for 35, picking up houses for 27.5, selling them for 50. That's where we are right now. So I have a deal right now on the table, and I'll talk about it next Thursday. Once I get this lady to lock in on the owner financing piece, I may have a deal that I'm willing to assign on the back end where you get into this property for zero money and you're able to cash flow. So next Thursday, I'll have the details on that one. I promise you. I already locked it in this week. So
You ever heard of Bamberg, South Carolina?
no, But Sekilia on the phone? Sekilia may know where that location is because she lives down in South Carolina.
I just had another investor email me a property that he's got under contract down there, and I just looked up a little bit on the town or whatever. There's not too many people in the town though, but
That's the thing. Once you understand the town, the dynamics of the town, and because what I like again, this little area of Lumberton, I'll say the name now that everybody forced me to tell you. But the one thing I'll say is with this area, the east side of the town is where people want to be. And my back end buyers, and this is just reality. This is not a race thing or a social thing or whatever. My back end buyers have been Hispanic individuals, and they come to the table with cash. And they come to the table with big earnest money deposits. When I say big, I mean 10 grand. And you guys know how much money I want off every deal. Give me 10 grand, baby. So I get my 10 grand up front. We can eat. So know the market, know your buyers, and know your sellers. Questions? Anything? Football on tonight. I'm gonna let y'all go early.
Oh no, that's a negative.
Go ahead and mute Twilight.
Keely.
Please mute Twilight.
She said that's a negative.
Negative. Somebody please mute Twilight.
I waited till you said that. I was like, I'm gonna light them up with these questions. Now, Sakelia, how far are you from Charleston?
That's a good question.
Let me see. I think about like maybe.
Are you close to Columbia, Sakelia?
I'm about I say about an hour away.
Okay.
From Columbia.
She an hour. So she probably about what you probably about 2 hours from Charleston? She probably about 2 hours from Charleston.
It's I say about 4 hours.
Oh, so you north.
shoot.
You north. Okay, you north. Okay. I'm 3 hours from Charleston.
I asked Sakelia. I didn't ask Mike.
Okay, go ahead, Twilight. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead. Look, my bad. I just didn't know.
Mike, you already know. I'll hit you up.
I didn't know if you needed some help. Go ahead, then. Go ahead. Look, as Twilight going to create some type of group in Discord that we are not invited to, except for her and Security. I can see that happening already. But yeah, I mean, but this is what we're here for, right? Because if you have deals out of state, I think it's important for you to be able to navigate and work with other people. I mean, if we're not doing that, what are we here for? Any other questions? That's a good question.
Is it cool to skip around with your prospecting, or should you pretty much just concentrate on one area, run a certain list, test it out, then run a different list in that same area? Or
I'm curious. I want to hear somebody else's opinion on that. I don't know if Charles is still on, but I would be curious to hear somebody else's opinion, and I'll tell you mine. I'll tell you my progression that I'll do.
All right.
I like looking at different lists because like this auction, I mean, these auction and pre-foreclosures. It seemed like it's getting more and more harder because a lot of people are still just not, they still playing around. Like they're like, no, I don't want to sell. And it's just seems a little more time consuming. And so I'm gonna take a break from auction and pre-foreclosure because of that. Oh, and also one more thing. I was thinking about looking into Harris County, Texas. What was I watching? I was watching something, but they were saying that
Dallas or Houston, Twilight. I always forget.
I'm not sure.
But
I know some
it's
people
either
in
Dallas or
Texas.
Houston. I know for a fact. I just don't know which one it is.
They were talking about they had the highest eviction rate like within a month. And so I was like, well, let me look on PropStream and check out like Texas. Oh my goodness. They have a lot of properties that are vacant, foreclosed, auction, you name it.
Mhm.
So that was another place I was thinking about looking, where they have like a higher rate of people trying to sell.
Houston.
You looking it up now, ain't you?
It's
I
Houston.
can tell.
It's Houston. Yeah, I had to look. It's Houston. It's Houston. I knew it was either Dallas or
You
Houston.
see how you seen his face, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, Mike is checking it out now.
Checking it out, boy. He was
I had to look.
creating a list.
I can let
His
that
eyes
thing
was
go.
water, like, yeah.
Yeah, look, you know me. I had to see. Hey, Brian, note to self: run the list tomorrow. Harris County.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Miss you, Brian.
Note to self: run Harris County tomorrow.
And it's a lot of out of state landlords.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, again, that goes back to you knowing your market. And really quickly, just to go back to Charles, did you want to chime in about how you progressed through a list or through a geographic location before I chime in?
I kind of just stayed within like a 3-hour kind of radius thing at first, because I was actually kind of just put my eyes on properties and kind of get to know the area. So I mean, I like to stay in my little area, but I do venture out based off of some analytics. I kind of, that's how I knew about the Milwaukee thing. Just doing some research. So I tried that out. I seen a couple people out there. So I already had a couple possible end buyers already in mind. You kind of want to go where your end buyers are just to make it easier. You want to make it easy as possible. So if you got end buyers in a situation, like you kind of want to prospect, you know, that's why I was asking Amber about like, hey, what's up with your end buyers? I mean, because there's always enough to, you know, money to go around. So if she already has the end buyers already on deck, that just makes it easier. But
And I think we got some people on the call tonight from Milwaukee. Y'all chime in from Milwaukee.
Shoot.
Where you at, Charles?
I'm in Florida. I'm in Northwest Florida. So yeah, so I go to Alabama, I go to Mobile, Montgomery, Dothan, Pensacola, Panama City. I got like I'm prospecting at least 6-7 cities, but I just keep in the same little round because I actually know, like, I feel like I know the numbers and stuff. So even though ARV is gonna be ARV for the most part,
Yeah.
but in the areas that I've been prospecting, I kind of know them a little bit more.
And I'll tell you guys my progression, right? So this is how I start out. I start out with the first list I typically try to start out with is the pre-foreclosure. I attack it with using the circle, using the automated text message, and then I send out the letters, right? That's how I start. Pre-foreclosures, hit them with the text message sequence. And I start out with the pre-foreclosure sequence. And then I send the messages. Or excuse me, I send the letters. Right.
I guess we didn't answer the same question then.
Yeah. You were close. Charles.
Oh, okay. I missed it.
And then so the next step I do vacants. So then I do the vacants. I send the cash buyer sequence to the vacants. Then I do tile landlords. And then I wrap back around. My last hit is taking the pre-foreclosure and I try to switch the number. And then I do the cash buyer sequence to the pre-foreclosures. And then I'm out of the city at that point. And then I move on to the next one. We're out of the county. That's it. That's my sequence. Wes. So you can jump around if you want, but for me, I try to complete, try to complete my list, and I go through it fast, right? I don't mess around. Like that's the reason why we send so many text messages so fast, because what they say, 7 to 10 contacts, or 7 to 10 touches is what makes a person engage with you. Most people, they don't tell you the time frame. We do those time frames really fast and upfront. So that would be my suggestion, Wes, if that helps.
What'd you say, around 500 to 750 a week, was it? Or something like that?
Yeah, I try to send about 750 a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you're gonna do the pre-foreclosures, I suggest go ahead and circle them around and send the letters out too.
Oh, Mike Raymond, I think it's Raymond or Ramon. He's in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. I had to think about it because I was like, oh, wait a minute. Because I did a conference call going over, I was about to say Facebook, prop stream and everything. And he's in Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, got you. Any other questions? Questions, input?
Would you say, seeing that the holidays are coming up,
Yeah.
maybe closer to like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we could like go back to like pre-foreclosures and auctions because, you know, don't nobody want to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I think using that thought process of, I think what makes you a good investor is thinking past the obvious, right? And I think that thought process makes sense, right? It's the holidays. Nobody wants to move out of their house on that. But once it's past that and giving them the opportunity, I mean, shoot, even if it was one of those things like, hey, I want to buy your house or I want to negotiate with you, but you can stay in it through the holidays and let's reconvene January 1st or something like that. I think that makes sense to all. Great question. Any other questions?
So you guys still using this circle, that thing, the text thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to it tomorrow.
Uh-oh. Coming to us.
I got some things to do.
Near you.
I got some things to do.
Might do 1.5 this year.
But I'm gonna call Brian tomorrow. I want him to make me something crazy.
You know, I got you. I got you.
You know how I roll, yeah.
You know, somebody like
1.5.
Michelot make a cool $1 million in 1 year. You know, like, it's just light work. That's all. So proud of you, bro. So proud. Any other questions? Nope. All right, fair enough. Well, everybody enjoy your night. Next up, we locking back in. I'm challenging you. If you have not prospected this week, if you have not sent out one damn text message this week, how can you win? It's just a fact. You cannot win if you haven't sent one text message out. If you have not made one call, left one voicemail, you cannot win. Stop doing the menial task. Get with Charles. Get with Charles at one of his VAs. Get with Brian. Get linked up to the circle. You have to do something to prospect. If you're not prospecting, you have no opportunity to make an offer. Somebody just signing on right now. If you're not prospecting, you have no opportunity to make an offer. You just don't. If you're not calling, if you're not leaving voicemails, if you're not sending out letters, if you're doing none of those things, you have no opportunity to make an offer. I promise you that. And if you're not making an offer, you have no opportunity to get on a contract. If you're not under contract, you have no opportunity to close. And if you don't close, you have no opportunity to make any money. That makes sense. I know that sounds simplistic, but it's the truth. And Charles, how can people reach out to you? Let them know about the VAs, Smart Money VAs.
Yeah, Brian had posted the calendar in my in the chat, so y'all can book a time with me and we could set up something, and I'll tell you how the VA pool works.
Nice. Any other questions at all? Awesome. I got football to watch, and hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week. And let's
Oh,
lock
one more thing, Mike.
man.
You know it's coming.
Yes, Twyla.
Is that just a black globe behind you? I'm just joking.
It is just black. It's just for decoration purposes only. There's nothing on that glove. I don't like, and I want to say it's like artistic or something, but it's nothing. It's just a black globe. It's like it has zero value. It has no value. Thank you, Twyla. Yes, but it is a black globe. And yes, that planet. Hey, any other questions?
Oh, dang, really?
I don't know.
Nope.
Is it real? No, that's fake. No, I don't know. Any other questions? Perfect. All right, so see y'all next Thursday.
All right.
Prospect. If you need us, hit us up. Charles is available. Twyla's available. Science available. Michelo's available. Brian's available. Myself is available. Hit us up in Discord if you have questions about something specific you're working on. Amber's available. I think last call, Amber said she'll meet Sequelia on location at a property. This is what we do. We work together and we get things done. So if you have any questions before next Thursday, hit me up, hit us up, and we'll talk soon. Enjoy your weekend.
Your ad just happened to come across on my page, and I joined that day.
And I made more in like 4 months that I made for a year and doing that at VAC.
Mike Morrison's my guy. He gives me a lot of great advice and helps you kind of navigate through the process when it comes to the sale and the purchase on properties just like this.
We don't focus on doing a lot of deals. We focus on improving your margin.
Definitely.
Right? Because you don't have to do as many deals if you're making 15 or more per deal. And I don't know how many math rules are out there, but if you're doing 4 deals, making at least $15,000 a month, that's 60 grand